talking about like family and stuff, in like the 1950s, it was so rare that like a family can consist of anything. Like the nuclear family was like the ideal family in like the 50s now. Or now it's like it could be anyone from like your best friend living at your house or anyone that creates your family, which I think helps people be a lot more successful.
Because a lot of times the nuclear family is looked upon as the good thing. I mean, it's the fairy tale. I mean, you get your mom, your dad, mom stays home and stuff. But who is it to say that the nuclear family is the way it should be? I mean, it works well sometimes if dad stays home maybe even, or if they both go out to work. And just because you don't have the set standard family doesn't mean things are bad or things are going the wrong way in the family.
It should be based on like what makes you more successful or what makes your life a lot easier. So if that's your dad staying home, then that's what should happen.
That's it.
Yeah, you stay there.
Oh, we stay there.
We go upstairs. Very little bits.
Oh, now we're
I might do stuff.
So do we go like next, or how does this work?
Oh, now we like catch the water. We're just like,
Are you, okay. Well, I actually had something I caught on, was that the average family makes like about, what was it, $50,000?
I average family of 4.
It's like $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
I guess like, it's not that bad, but if you think about it,
Yeah.
there's so many expenses right now. It's like, even apartments are like $1,000 a month for like a 2-room apartment. And it's like a house for 4 people is gonna be a lot. And then you have college, you have all these different expenses, depending on how many kids you have. If you have 2 kids, it's 2 kids you gotta put through college if they go to college. You gotta pay for cars, you gotta pay for insurances, you gotta pay for your house. It's just, I don't know, it sounds like a decent average, but when you think
But
about it,
I was just looking at like in 1984, it was 34,000. So like it's going up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but expenses are going up as well, and hundreds of thousands of people are in debt. They're just using their credit cards. People lose their homes every day because of credit card debt. They lose their cars, and it just tears up the family.
See, a lot of that gets brought up too, that like all these problems like credit debt and stuff like that. I mean, obviously there's a lot of problems going on in the world. But a lot of people want to turn and blame it on marriage somehow, even though that could be completely unrelated to marriage. Because marriage can actually help
Yeah.
that. Because in the exercises we do here in class and stuff, it shows that a married couple tends to increase their income rather than if they stayed single. So a lot of the problems in society can't just get blamed onto.
All right, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys think kids are being taught right moral values and correct stuff? Because nowadays, I mean, if you think about it, high school gets worse and worse what the kids do now. I mean, they're always disrespectful. They have more power against teachers. And teachers, you know, say one thing and they get them in trouble like that. They're not respectful anymore. It seems like from some, a lot of them. I mean, if you think about it, from single parent households and stuff. You know, they're not raised right or something.
All right, I see where you're coming from.
But then again, I think like it has, I don't know, it's totally hard to talk about it because like you're gonna learn your like family values and like your morals from your family, and depending on what like your mom and dad grew up with, that's where you're gonna get it. So it's kind of hard to even like put a point of finger at who's teaching that.
All right, you guys win.
a lot of these values. I mean, it's as a kids don't know better most of the time. I mean, they're young, they're inexperienced, and that's what parents are for. Because they're there to parent their kids and raise them right. But if the parents aren't taking care of the kids, and a lot of these problems can be, not all these problems can be blamed on the parents, but a large portion of it can, because it's the parents' job to guide them. So more or less that looks on the parent side, and it talks about like what kind of parent they are, and maybe they didn't have the right things growing up,
Yeah. So what?
the right guidance, so now they can't pass it on because they weren't taught last generation to do it right. I mean, I think every parent's gonna agree if their kid goes out, starts doing drugs, starts hanging out with the wrong crowd, and gets in a lot of trouble. That's obviously their
Good job, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, all right, fine.